Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. By the way, this lady is the CNN foreign affairs analyst, Reena Ninan, said she cannot find one Arab American within her social circle in business or personally who has said that they would vote for Kamala Harris. She also said that, why, isn't that something? I think Kamala Harris needs to turn the page from what has been.
Did she say turn the page? Maybe that would help.
Well, there goes another major demographic. I mean, but at least the white dudes for Harris are still going strong. And by strong, I mean they'll say whatever keeps the peace in their household. The only thing weaker than white dudes for Harris has got to be the drinks at the Mormon Comedy Barn in Provo. Am I right? Come on.
What are they getting paid, though? There's no white dudes for Harris. They're all people being paid by the Harris campaign. And that's what white dudes for Harris is. That is all it is. There's no one that is just part of that. If you're not getting paid and you call yourself that, you're a chump. Because
You're a
you should
chump.
be getting money like the rest.
So here it is. Here she is.
And I've been talking to people in the business sector in the Arab American community. And I was really surprised this week to get an earful to hear them say that they would much rather either vote a third party, not vote at all, or vote for Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, it's not obviously a significant sample size, but I cannot find one Arab American within my social circle in business or personally who have said that they will vote for Kamala Harris. When you look at the polling, it seems sort of neck and neck. What they are saying, and this is not a Donald Trump campaign line, that Tiffany...
Can I just remind people that when they do nationwide polls, those polls mean almost nothing. Why do nationwide polls mean almost nothing? Because we are electing a president on the Electoral College. The popular vote doesn't matter. The only polls that should matter are the polls in the swing states. And Trump's ahead in almost all of those.
So when Hillary would go, I won the popular vote.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I would go, what? Why don't you change that system? Because that's how you lost that. No, we're not changing it.
No.
I think we can win on this one.
And guess what? You would think that Hillary Clinton and the Democrats would want to change the system of the Electoral College. They do not. Why do you think that is?
I think that'd be Al Gore's chief issue after he got screwed on that.
You would think. You would think it would be Hillary Clinton's chief issue. Nope, don't even bring it up.
No.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think they lose in a popular vote too. I think they can't guarantee they're going to get what they want. And it's better not to lose than to lose to, like, democracy's on the ballot, so we can't afford to have democracy.
Yeah. Here we go.
And I've been talking to people in the business sector in the Arab American community. And I was really surprised this week to get an earful to hear them say that they would much rather either vote a third party, not vote at all, or vote for Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, it's not obviously a significant sample size, but I cannot find one Arab American within my social circle in business or personally who have said that they will vote for Kamala Harris. When you look at the polling, it seems sort of neck and neck. What they are saying, and this is not a Donald Trump campaign line, that Tiffany Trump's father-in-law, who's a Lebanese businessman, has been successful in kind of converting and talking to people to explain why Trump would be better, even with a Muslim ban, even with everything else that has happened. They feel they do not have any political clout.
Yeah, he did a Muslim ban. He banned them, but he didn't bomb them. Which is worse. You know who did bomb them? Barack Obama.
Well, also a Muslim ban means Israel can't ship disgruntled Palestinians here that they run off their land. It complicates the plan for the area,
Yes. Okay.
They don't have any political operation. The only political power they have is their vote, even if it means the rise of Donald Trump.
That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary.
Is it?
And that
is that really extraordinary? That's extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Oh,
it's
wow.
Extraordinary that people won't vote for the person who's currently bombing them.
But Trump wouldn't be better. Well, the person who was definitely not better is there now. So
right.
You don't think they might want to punish that person? And maybe they'd want to punish Trump if he's not any better.
Yeah.
I say punish the one that doesn't do what you want.
Yeah.
Whoever's been in for 4 years, that's who you hold responsible, right?
You got to go after the person who's currently doing the bombing to you. So that you can't. Well, Donald Trump would be worse. I've heard people say, what is he going to do? Dig up the dead Palestinians and kill them again?
Yeah, he would be worse. Okay, but we already have the person who's responsible for failing on this. Well, not really Kamala. She wasn't elected anything, but the people in charge now that got us in this bullshit are there now, and they have to go. They have to be cleaned the fuck out.
It's extraordinary.
I'd like if Trump to say, and he says so much dumb shit about Israel, but I would like him to say, we're not doing BB's dry cleaning ever again. I feel like that would be a symbolic gesture.
That would be symbolic.
Throw his dry cleaning in the goddamn Potomac in front of him.
I mean, we were hearing about the inroads that Tiffany Trump's husband was making in the spring when the uncommitted, uninstructed movement in a couple of states in Wisconsin and Michigan were such a big deal. I mean, 48,000 votes for uninstructed in Wisconsin. That's more than twice Joe Biden's margin in 2020. In Michigan, 101,000 uncommitted votes. That's just shy of what Joe Biden won that state by. I mean, this is important and it could be decisive.
And there's 200,000 Muslims in Georgia that no one talks about too. And in the CARE poll, which came out several months ago, Kamala Harris was in third place among Muslims in several of those states behind both Donald Trump and Jill Stein. So there is this position that she's in.
Let me play this one more time.
And I've been talking to people in the business sector in the Arab American community, and I was really surprised this week to get an earful to hear them say that they would much rather either vote a third party, not vote at all, or vote for Donald Trump.
And then they said they even like Benjamin Netanyahu better than Kamala. I said, come on, that's mean. And they go, no, at least he's clear about what he stands for.
Lisa doesn't giggle when he says what he's going to do.
So Trump's in-law is trying to exploit Democrats' weakness with Arab American voters. Boy, how dare he? I can't believe how low Trump will go, exploiting the weakness of a rival campaign. Just call them weird like gentlemen.
That's weird, talking to fellow Muslims.
That is...
You're being weird. Who writes their campaign hits? Like, they're weird. Who wrote that? A 13-year-old girl that's actually a boy?
Tiffany Trump's father-in-law has been working behind the scenes to persuade a critical group of voters in Michigan. Since earlier this year, a pair of unofficial Trump emissaries, Massad Boulos and a Lebanese American businessman, and an in-law of Mr. Trump, and Richard Grenell, Mr. Trump's former ambassador to Germany and acting intelligence chief, have been crisscrossing Michigan trying to repackage and sell Mr. Trump to skeptical Arab American and Muslim voters there. In 2020, these overlapping but different constituencies, many Arab Americans are Christian, largely rejected Mr. Trump, who, as a 2016 candidate, proposed a national registry of Muslims and vowed a total and complete ban on Muslims entering the United States. But the war in Gaza and Lebanon has strained their support for Democrats, and Mr. Boulos and Mr. Grenell have set out to exploit this weakness.
How could they? They're not talking to regular Arabs. They're talking to people like high-up businessmen.
Yeah. They have held what they estimate to be more than 100 private meetings, delivering a range of pitches. According to interviewers with 7 people who have met with one or both of them, they have pointed to common ground with the former president on social and economic policies and have helped arrange access to the former president at events. Mr. Grenell, who is lobbying to be Secretary of State in a potential second Trump administration, has at least twice suggested Mr. Trump's relationship with President Vladimir Putin of Russia could be useful in pressuring regional leaders. Both men often repeat Mr. Trump's promises to be a peacemaker in the Israel-Palestinian conflict. And despite Mr. Trump's record of solid support for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel and his government, Mr. Boulos and Mr. Grenell have successfully pursued the endorsements of sharp critics of Israel, including one activist who has labeled Israel's military campaign in Gaza a genocide. Well, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, and keep Israel on speed dial, am I right?
Yeah, he labeled it a genocide. I call it a situationship.
The whole thing behind Donald Trump's power over others, it's not that he's good or that he's honest, but instead that he will happily tell you and tell everyone that you are just as crooked as him.
Also, he's loyal, though. And if they had just not tried to trash him every 5 seconds, we could have had healthcare. If they really wanted healthcare and they flattered Trump and were loyal to him, we'd have healthcare. That's a fact. That's what they think is stupid. What the people at the top think is dumb about him is he values loyalty because they don't.
Right.
So it's going to do with honesty, because who's running for president is going to tell the truth to you? Nobody. You know why he didn't release that info that Judge Napolitano talks about? Yeah. I know why. He goes, if you read what I read, you wouldn't release it either. It's because America would experience ego death. And by the way, America should experience ego death. Almost like it tripped really hard on too many mushrooms. America's ego has to go. And that's really what the problem is. But nobody's running for president selling that to nobody. So what you can have is some loyalty, and then maybe some things you get done, like that bill that let prisoners out of prison. John Kennedy is the name of that senator, by the way, because I want to know who Trump was talking about that gave it to him. He goes,
really?
He was fighting against it tooth and nail. It was John Kennedy. And he goes, I'm going to give it to you because blah, blah, blah. And Trump's telling this on Patrick Bet Value show like it's a nice story. I guess it is in a way. It's disgusting that that's how something that important gets done as a loyalty favor. Like, that's gross to me. But nevertheless, it got done. So, again, there's no good candidates running. There's not one. You don't live in a good country. You live in a Satan country. That's what it is. Whether you believe it's real or not, that's what you live in. But things like loyalty are viewed as a major weakness, and being like, you're not sophisticated that you would have something like that. You're supposed to sell out. And you've watched it personally with all your dumb shit Hollywood friends, right?
Yes.
They view loyalty as not a virtue in any level. They're like, why haven't you sold out someone?
No, their only loyalty is to their career.
That's right.
That's their only loyalty, is to their career.
That's the one thing with the establishment. It's not adrenochrome, whatever conspiracy thing. It's that these people are loyal only to their career. And once you have programmed people to be that way, you can make them do any evil you want. And we've seen it over and over again in history.
Get this. I'm excited to tell you about this new app. It's called Kalshi. It's the first legal exchange where you can trade or bet on any event. Kalshi just got approval to list markets to trade on the outcome of the election. No kidding. Making it the first legal place to trade on the election in 100 years. Kalshi has markets on who will win the presidential election, who will control the House and Senate, who will win swing states, and more. Right now, Trump and Kamala are trading at about 50-50, meaning if you place a bet on either, you will double your money if they end up winning. Really? Kalshi has already facilitated over $1 billion in trades. The election markets are now live to trade. You can sign up using my link, kalshi.com/door, and the first 500 traders who deposit $50 will get a free $20 credit. Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.